Welcome back to the channel. We're going to unravel the astonishing story behind the 1983 D Lincoln 1-cent coin, a coin with a face value of just 1 cent, but in extremely rare cases, it's speculated to be worth up to a jaw-dropping $190 million due to a unique combination of errors, minting anomalies, and numismatic significance. So stay tuned, buckle up, and prepare to be amazed as we peel back the layers of history, minting mysteries, and collector frenzy that has surrounded this little copper-colored marvel of American currency for decades. Now, to understand why the 1983 D 1-cent coin could reach such a staggering value, we must first delve into the historical and technical context in which this coin was minted. The year 1983 was a significant time in the evolution of the United States penny. Just 1 year earlier, in 1982, the U.S. Mint underwent a major compositional change in how the penny was produced. Before mid-1982, pennies were made primarily of 95% copper and 5% zinc. However, due to rising copper prices, the mint transitioned to a more cost-effective composition, a core of 99.2% zinc and a thin outer layer of 0.8% copper, giving the coins a copper appearance, but a drastically different internal structure. This change might seem subtle to the average person, but to coin collectors and numismatists, it was monumental, especially because the transition year produced coins in both compositions. The 1983 D penny, coming just after this change, was supposed to be uniformly produced in the new zinc composition. However, mistakes happen, even in the most controlled environments, and that's where the magic of rare coins begins. One of the most intriguing aspects of the 1983 D 1-cent coin's value lies in the potential for a composition error. There have been reports and verified cases of 1983 pennies, including those from the Denver Mint, being struck on the old copper planchets instead of the new zinc ones. This was not supposed to happen. By 1983, all planchets were supposed to be the new zinc variety. But in some extremely rare situations, leftover copper planchets from 1982 or experimental strikes found their way into the coining presses, resulting in coins that technically should not exist. These rare copper-based 1983 D coins are immediately of immense interest to collectors due to their supposed impossibility. Because of their unexpected composition and rarity, such errors can skyrocket in value at auctions, especially when authenticated through professional grading and metallurgical analysis. But the composition error isn't the only anomaly that makes the 1983 D 1-cent coin a potential treasure. Die errors, which include things like doubled dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and cuds, are also highly sought after. Doubling errors are particularly notable. In a doubled die coin, the image appears to have been struck twice in slightly different locations, leading to noticeable doubling in areas such as the date, the inscriptions like "In God We Trust," or "Liberty," and Abraham Lincoln's profile. When this type of error occurs on a coin already considered valuable due to composition or minting anomalies, it significantly amplifies the coin's appeal and its potential market value. Imagine the excitement in the numismatic world when a coin is discovered that has not just one, but multiple major errors. A 1983 D 1-cent coin struck on a copper planchet, with a double die obverse, an off-center strike, and a die crack running across Lincoln's shoulder would be practically priceless. Coin collectors and investors would compete fiercely for such a specimen, pushing its value well into the multi-million-dollar range. And it's not just theoretical. Some extremely rare coins with multiple prominent errors have indeed fetched prices of $1 million, $2 million, or even more in high-profile auctions. If such a coin were discovered and met with intense collector interest, expert validation, and historical significance, it's conceivable it could be valued as high as $190 million, especially in a market where rarity, demand, and historical allure combine to create the perfect storm. Let's also not forget the psychological and historical significance of coins in American culture. Pennies have a rich history in the United States, serving as symbols of thrift, tradition, and the common man. The Lincoln penny, introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person. Over time, this coin has undergone multiple design, compositional, and minting changes, and the coins that have emerged with unintentional variations have always fascinated collectors. The 1983 D penny, though meant to be mundane, became a vessel of minting history and human error that turned it into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. One important part of evaluating the worth of a coin like the 1983 D penny is professional authentication and grading. Trusted organizations like the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS) and the Numismatic Guarantee Company (NGC) assess coins for authenticity, grade, and error type. When a coin is officially graded as a mint error, especially one involving wrong planchet or significant doubling, its value can multiply exponentially. A coin graded as mint state, MS, 65 or higher with multiple unique errors could reach historic sale prices, and that's where the theoretical $190 million valuation enters the picture. That valuation isn't about what someone might pay at a regular coin shop, but what could potentially happen in a record-breaking auction among elite collectors, private investors, or museums. Rarity always plays a crucial role in coin values. A major reason the 1983 D coin can hypothetically reach such extraordinary figures is due to its presumed ultra-low population. If only one or two such coins exist, and they're verified to have both major mint errors and a composition anomaly, the bidding war would be unprecedented. Numismatics history has proven that when rarity meets provenance and collector demand, prices can go through the roof. This is evident from past sales like the 1933 Double Eagle, which sold for over $18 million, and even the 1794 Flowing Hair Dollar, which fetched over $10 million at auction. The 1983 D penny could join this elite league if the conditions are just right. Now, consider also the possibility of transitional error. Transitional errors occur when a coin is struck with the design or composition of a previous or subsequent year. The 1983 D struck on a copper planchet intended for 1982 is one such transitional error that fascinates collectors. It bridges two eras of penny composition and serves as a physical representation of the U.S. Mint's evolving standards. The historical narrative that comes with this transitional error adds another compelling layer of collectability, making the coin even more appealing to those who collect coins not just for their monetary value, but also for the stories they carry. The mint mark, D, itself tells us that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. Each mint has its unique history and tendencies in terms of error rates and coin characteristics. The Denver Mint, while generally considered efficient and high volume, has still seen its share of famous errors over the decades. The presence of the D mint mark on a coin that shouldn't exist in copper, or that shows dramatic doubling, gives it a geographic fingerprint, an origin story that adds to its mystique. In a broader sense, coins like the 1983 D penny remind us that even in modern times, with all our advancements in technology and quality control, errors can and do slip through the cracks. These errors, rather than being embarrassments, become prized artifacts of history, unintentional works of art, and time capsules of the minting process. The allure of finding a treasure in your pocket change keeps collectors constantly searching, always hoping for that one in a billion discovery that could change their lives forever. Adding to the legend, there are unconfirmed but persistent rumors within the numismatic community of private collectors quietly acquiring ultra-rare 1983 D pennies with multiple errors for undisclosed 7- or 8-figure sums. Because of the secretive nature of high-end coin transactions, many of these sales never reach public auction records, but they fuel speculation and hope among collectors and dealers alike. Every rumor, every unverified sighting, adds to the mythos and drives up speculative value. Furthermore, the value of coins like the 1983 D penny isn't just measured in dollars but also in historical significance and cultural impact. It's not merely a piece of metal, it's a witness to a transformation in minting policy, an example of human oversight, a product of chance, and a spark for dreams. People all over the world search through jars, drawers, and rolls of coins, hoping to find a fortune among the forgotten, and the 1983 D 1-cent coin stands as a shining beacon of that hope. Finally, one must consider the influence of media and market trends. As stories of rare coin finds go viral and collector interest surges, so too does the demand and price for key era coins. A perfectly timed feature in a major publication, a viral YouTube video, or a social media buzz can rapidly increase the profile of a particular coin. Should a high-grade, multi-error, copper composition 1983 D coin be authenticated and sold during such a media frenzy, its price could defy all previous records and expectations, even reaching or surpassing the speculative $190 million mark. It's the perfect storm. Today, we dive deep into one of the most mysterious and surprising stories in the coin collecting world, a journey centered around a seemingly ordinary coin that has captured the attention of numismatists, collectors, and investors alike. It's the 1990 United States 1-cent coin, commonly referred to as the 1990 Lincoln cent, which against all odds has been valued by some experts and private collectors at an astonishing $90.8 million. Yes, you heard that right. A coin with a face value of just 1 cent allegedly valued at nearly $100 million. But how could such a small, common coin rise to a price point rivaling some of the most expensive artifacts ever sold? What rare errors, mysterious minting mishaps, and historical circumstances could possibly justify such a staggering valuation? Strap in as we take an in-depth look at every possible explanation behind the immense worth of the 1990 1-cent coin, exploring error varieties, striking anomalies, mint mark oddities, die characteristics, and the wide spectrum of theories and speculations that have built this coin's legendary status. The 1990 Lincoln cent was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the United States Mint's key facilities, which struck billions of pennies over the decades. On the surface, the 1990 penny appears like any other. Featuring the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, this penny was made primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating. By all standard accounts, this coin should be worth no more than 1 cent, perhaps a few cents in uncirculated condition. However, stories and sightings of bizarre and unexplainable error versions of the 1990 penny began circulating in numismatic circles in the early 2000s, setting the stage for growing intrigue. Let's begin with the errors that have added explosive value to some rare specimens of this coin. One of the most discussed is the presence of dramatic double die obverse and reverse errors in some 1990 pennies. A double die error occurs when the die used to strike the coin has been improperly manufactured, resulting in a doubling of images, especially in the date, motto, or design elements like Lincoln's profile or the lettering. In 1990 error coins, some specimens have been found to exhibit extreme doubling in the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date, 1996. Others show striking doubling in Lincoln's eye and jawline, which is highly unusual and rare for that mint year. These double die varieties can be difficult to detect without magnification, which only adds to their elusiveness and mystique. Another category of errors that has made certain 1990 pennies immensely valuable is the off-center strike. Off-center errors occur when the coin is not properly aligned within the coining press, causing the design to appear partially off the surface of the coin. While minor off-center errors are relatively common, some 1990 specimens have been found with an extreme 50% or more off-center strike while still maintaining full date visibility. Such combinations are exceedingly rare, as most coins struck this way are rejected by the mint's quality control systems or fail to be preserved in circulation. Coins with both an extreme off-center strike and a visible date and mint mark are often sold at very high premiums, but in the case of the 1990 it is believed that one particular specimen with an off-center strike so dramatic and clear was involved in a private sale to a high-profile collector at an eye-popping valuation. Then we come to die cracks and die cuds, which are another common but occasionally spectacular form of mint error. A die crack occurs when the die used to strike coins begins to fracture, causing raised lines or lumps to appear on the coin's surface. Some 1990 pennies show lightning-like cracks across Lincoln's face or the Lincoln Memorial, and these types of natural deformities caused during the striking process are especially desirable when they are large and dramatic. One particular known specimen shows an immense die break on the reverse, stretching from the top of the Lincoln Memorial across to the rim, creating what collectors call a retained cud. This coin became famous in online collecting forums and was later rumored to have fetched a six-figure sum at a private auction, an example of how even obscure error types can lead to massive premiums. Perhaps most fascinating of all are the mint mark errors on some 1990 pennies. The Denver Mint mark, D, is supposed to appear clearly beneath the date. However, in some rare examples, the mint mark appears to be repunched, meaning it was struck more than once during the minting process, creating a ghost-like duplication or shadow effect. These repunched mint marks, RPMs, are often faint but unmistakable to trained eyes. Even rarer are rumors of no mint mark 1996 cents, possibly resulting from planchets intended for other mints being used by mistake, or dies lacking the mint mark entering circulation. Although no such specimen has been officially verified, the mere possibility has sent collectors scrambling to inspect their pocket change and hoard 1996 D coins in hopes of discovering a missing mint mark error. The speculative value of such a theoretical coin has further driven demand and mystique. What makes the 1996 D cent even more compelling is the possibility that multiple errors exist on the same coin. Imagine a coin with a double die obverse, an off-center strike, a die crack, and a repunched mint mark, all on a single coin. While astronomically rare, there have been whispers of such a quad-error specimen surfacing in a private collection, allegedly verified by multiple grading services, though the identity of the coin and its owner remains confidential. Such a specimen would be effectively one of a kind, and rarity of that magnitude is often what pushes a coin into the multi-million-dollar range. If authenticated, such a coin could easily attract offers in the tens of millions, especially from elite collectors who seek not only rare pieces but pieces that transcend all known precedents. And then there is the topic of condition. The 1996 penny was struck in the billions and circulated widely, making it difficult to find high-grade examples. However, a small number of coins were preserved straight from mint rolls and handled with extreme care. A few have earned grades as high as MS68, or even MS69 red from leading coin grading services. The color designation, red, refers to the copper luster being in pristine condition without oxidation, something nearly impossible for coins of this era. A 1996 D in such condition, especially if combined with a dramatic error, is so rare that it enters the realm of numismatic fantasy. Some experts believe that less than 5 coins in the entire world meet this description, and one of them might be the infamous $90.8 million coin. Part of what contributes to the mythos of this coin is its backstory. According to urban legends and forum accounts, one particular 1996 penny was discovered by a teenage collector in Colorado in the early 2000s. The story goes that this collector noticed strange doubling on the coin's date and sent it in for grading. Upon examination, it was revealed that not only did the coin have a strong double die obverse, but it also had a repunched mint mark, minor die crack across Lincoln's collar, and slight off-center alignment, all in mint state red condition. The coin was quietly sold to a private collector in 2005 for an undisclosed amount, but rumors later surfaced that the transaction involved a transfer of assets worth $3 million. Over the years, the coin changed hands through private sales, each time appreciating in value, until its last known transaction reportedly placed the value at $90.8 million, making it one of the most valuable pennies in history. Skeptics argue that such valuations are inflated or based on myths, yet it's important to understand that in the world of ultra-rare collectibles, value is often determined by what the wealthiest collectors are willing to pay. When rarity, story, visual appeal, and condition all converge, coins like the 1996 D can achieve jaw-dropping price tags. It is also speculated that a few other similar coins may exist, possibly hidden in private vaults, bank boxes, or even unknowingly resting in pocket change. This possibility fuels ongoing interest in the 1996 D penny and keeps collectors searching tirelessly. Another angle often overlooked is the historical and economic context. The mid-1990s saw major advancements in minting technology, and transitional errors were not uncommon. As the U.S. Mint transitioned between older and newer equipment, inconsistencies in dies, blank preparation, and striking pressure could have led to more frequent minting anomalies. The 1996 D penny may have been caught in this window of technical change, increasing the likelihood of errors escaping quality control. Furthermore, some believe that certain dies were deliberately modified by mint workers either out of curiosity, sabotage, or error, and the resulting coins, though never meant to be public, found their way into circulation. While this is speculative, similar events have occurred historically, such as with the 1955 double die cent, proving that mint-related mishaps do occasionally create legendary coins. With each layer of mystery, rarity, and potential for error, the story of the 1996 D Lincoln cent continues to grow. It's a testament to the enduring fascination humans have with treasure hunting, history, and the idea that something so small could carry such immense value. Whether you're a seasoned collector, a casual enthusiast,